Hey folks, Shawn Plummer over at the Annuity Expert. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why you would buy an annuity from the Annuity Expert and why we're the best resource online, if not anywhere in the United States, in terms of buying an annuity product from the Annuity Expert. I think the first thing that you need to start off with is I've been on all sides of the annuity industry in terms of sales. I'm going in my 18th year of doing this. I started out my career training financial advisors on annuity products. So my job was to make at least 100 dials or 3 hours of talk time each and every day and get financial advisors to sell Allianz annuity products to their clients. So you would sit down with your financial advisor would listen to your scenario, and then they would, when you leave, they'd pick up the phone and call me and say, hey, Shawn, John and Jane Smith in Iowa, they have, $1 million. I think an annuity would be a good chunk, 250,000 of that $1 million. What's the best annuity for that? Or is it annuity, I would have to say, yeah, an annuity would be a good fit for this. This is the product you would use, and this is why, this bell and whistle, this is the cons, this is the pros, And then I would also have to get people who have never sold annuities in their whole life and teach them how annuities work. That was my day job, right? Then I purchased, in the middle of my career, I purchased 3 fixed index annuities to test them out. And 2 of them were great. Well, they were great up until this year. And then the other one was a complete dog. It was a lemon. It was awful. I don't recommend that company that much. I don't want to go over the specific products just for privacy reasons, but I own 3 annuities. So I've actually been a buyer of those annuities. And so I've been on that side of the house. And then the other side is I sell directly to consumers and I educate consumers and the goal is to get you the best solution for your scenario, right? So I know inside baseball tips, trades, things that most folks don't know. I am an owner of 3 annuities. My wife owns an annuity, a fixed index annuity. And then I sell to consumers. And I've been doing this for 18 years. And what I can tell you is I will admit, I don't know everything about annuities, but I know a lot. And I can confidently say that there is a very, 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 very tiny pool of people that know more about annuities than myself, including ones that use slogans in their name or that sound like car salesmen or people who have doctors, the doctor title in their title or CFPs there are lanes that folks need to stay in. Okay. My lane's annuities. I would never be the guy who tells you that you need to, how to trade crypto. Like that's not my lane. And so because I focus just on this extremely narrow lane, I know more than most people. And my goal in every scenario is to put you in the best product based on your scenario. So for example, you may say, hey, Shawn, I'm 60 years old. I want to retire at 65. I want to get the highest income possible. Well, I go through several different types of annuity software programs that I pay for. And I start with what your bottom line is, so the highest income. And then I look at usually the top 3 to 5 options. And then I work my way backwards. Okay. Then I say, hey, well, which one's an A- or better rated company? All right. So eliminate any B rated companies. Then I look at, okay, well, what's the cost of the rider to the client? Okay. Then I look at, okay, which one's going to give more upside? Which one's going to be with a traditional index like the S&P 500? Which one's going to give a bonus? And I work my way backwards. But what I solve for is trying to get you the highest income possible. Or if you're looking for safe growth, I look at consistency rather than the most upside. Why? Because most of the annuity carriers out here have created these mutated engineered indexes, versions of the S&P 500, versions of the NASDAQ, and then these completely brand new indexes and illustrate extremely high returns. And I will tell you, you have an extremely high probability that you are going to bagel and you're going to end up disappointed in the returns. And it's going to be a case of over-promising and under-delivering. And I don't do that. I am in the game of, okay, if the S&P 500 is down and you didn't earn interest this year, you're going to understand why. You can see it on the news. The S&P 500 is down. I didn't make any interest, but I didn't lose any money. So, hey, it's a win-win for me, right? Same thing with the NASDAQ, same thing with the Dow Jones. So consistency, something that you can see, something the ordinary, the common man can understand, okay? I'm always going to recommend an A- or better rated company unless you are just hard-nosed and you want to buy a B-rated company. I'm going to protect you from making poor decisions and buying MIGAs that offer a high interest rate, but is with a company that has like 13 employees. So you don't get in a situation where you could be liable for losing money. I'm going to be able to manipulate annuity contracts to benefit you, the consumer. For example, ways of getting life insurance alternatives, or way that you can get out of your annuity with the least amount of penalties, or a giant bonus, or replacing your annuity for something better, or trying to give you a higher payout, a higher whatever, right? That is the goal that we provide when we talk to our clients. And the service doesn't cost you anything. Yes, I make a commission. I make it from the insurance company. It doesn't affect your annuity in a positive or negative way. It is cheaper out of your pocket by going through a commission-based annuity than a fee-based annuity. Fee-based annuities, in my opinion, are a scam and a ripoff, and you shouldn't be paying a fee out of your pocket in good and bad markets for a product that manages itself. You're just going to end up with an ethical way of buying an annuity, and you're going to have access to someone who has the knowledge of 18 years intimately dealing with annuities. And they're going to have the perspective of somebody who has worked for an insurance company, someone who owns annuities, just like you, and someone who sells annuities, versus the person that sells you annuity and that's all they've done, or somebody who doesn't own an annuity but will sell an annuity to you, so never tested out annuities, someone who has only worked for an insurance company but never have sold to consumers, right? Which is, and these things might sound minor, but they're huge, because somebody that works in an insurance company is likely having no experience of selling annuities to consumers outside of their friends and family. Or somebody who sells annuity all day long doesn't know that there are other annuities out there, or they don't have the high level industry experience of looking at the annuity world from a 300-foot view, right? Or they don't own annuities, right? They just, because they don't think it's a good fit for them. So this is what you're buying into, and it doesn't cost you anything. You're just, and you don't send money to us. That's the other thing. We do not touch people's money. We just facilitate the sale. We represent 50 different insurance companies, actually more than that. And then our job is to matchmake you with the perfect insurance company for your specific scenario. So that's what you get. You get 18 years of that industry knowledge. Like I said, there is an extremely tiny pool of folks who have more knowledge about annuities than myself. Okay. And it's just, there's no obligation. There's no pressure. It's just giving you intel and letting you make a confident decision, good, bad, ugly. And that's my rant. That's why you would buy from the Annuity Expert, as opposed to some dude sounding like a used car salesman, or somebody yelling at you, making you feel like an idiot, or some person that is just getting into the annuity game. Those are the reasons why. It's really to protect you. So if you got any questions about that, leave a comment below. I'll address it over the next couple of days. And feel free to come over to the Annuity Expert. We offer free calculators. So if you want to know what an annuity payout is and you don't want to put your email in, there you go. You can do it anonymously. If you want to know what today's fixed annuity rates are, you can right here, anonymous. Give you knowledge. Knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more power you have, the better you can make a conscious decision. And if you just want somebody to shoot you straight, whether it's good or bad, we're the company to do it with. So hope that helps. We'll catch you on the next video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. See ya.